I have some kind of abstract futurism
I love
questions
it.
for you.
Thank you.
As you are kind of, the candidate of the future.
I call myself a presentist. It's just the other politicians are behind.
That's a great
So
point.
true.
So we talk about AI taking jobs, but we're now when we talk about AI, I think we're talking about automated systems. But what I'm talking about is self-actualized AI, actual artificial intelligence.
AGI, like artificial general intelligence.
Yes,
What it's called.
with a with a sense of self-awareness.
Yep.
And self-preservation. This is something that a lot of people think is not in the on the far horizon. So with an AI, you have this great potential and a great risk, I think. For example, an AI can crunch the numbers over in 1 year, can crunch the numbers over thousands of years to find unsolvable problems or incurable diseases.
Yeah.
But at the same time, do you think that an AI of that magnitude poses any kind of threat to humanity and civilization?
I believe that we should not be overly concerned about artificial general intelligence just yet. Because when I talk to the foremost researchers in this space, they do not see a path from where we are now to artificial general intelligence.
They don't see that on the horizon.
No, they don't see the path. It would have to be like a whole series of breakthroughs and learnings. That right now we have machine learning algorithms that can solve an incredibly complex problem beyond any human intelligence, but they're essentially complete idiots and like 2-year-olds at anything that's not that problem. They're dumb. You can give them this enormous data set and they come up with brilliant correlations and insights, but they're not going to plug into Skynet and threaten us anytime soon. What I'm more concerned about is dumb artificial intelligence getting rid of a lot of our jobs, which is going to happen much, much faster than the artificial general intelligence. To me, that's a back burner concern. I know there are some very, very smart people who disagree with me on this with their concern. And they're right that these trends, this development can sometimes happen in explosively nonlinear ways. It's like could be even while I'm having this conversation, there's some breakthrough going on that's changing it.
I think the problem is that by the nature of it, that once you do have one breakthrough, then the machine itself is capable of taking itself all the way immediately. Right?
Yeah. The folks I talk to believe we're still a ways away from AGI.
But theoretically,
after you get a rate of self-improvement, then it can go to infinity, and then you can get there very, very fast. Yeah.
And are you afraid of that, or is that something that, certainly a tool for human advancement that's unparalleled, but a risk, do you think?
It is a risk. There are real hazards associated with dumb AI. You can use it to cure cancer, but you could also use it to hack someone's infrastructure and make it inoperable. There are different things that are possible. So one of the things that I say to the folks, and I'm friendly with a lot of the techies, is that I want to be their partner as president, but I also want to have a technologist who's representing the public interest, who's in the vicinity, who's like, hey guys, maybe we should unplug this one over a little while until we
have to kind of think about what a regulation on a...
And this is one of the most fundamental issues is like, if you're a technologist, you look up and be like, am I really going to let this dumb backwards government try and regulate? That seems like a disaster. Having some bureaucrat in the room being like, don't do this. Like most techies would want to throw themselves out a window if that was the situation. It's one reason why you need an actual technologist that the other technologists actually respect and who's just there being like, guys, this is not a good idea right now. We should actually pull back. It's a tough balance, but it's one we have to achieve as fast as possible. And the thing I'm excited about is a lot of the smartest techies in this space actually are open to it and in some cases even welcome it, particularly if the government is willing to put resources to work to help us stay competitive with, let's call it China, who's plowing billions and billions into the computing infrastructure necessary to make their algorithms smarter. And even our richest companies are looking up saying, I don't know if we have those kind of resources. So that's the partnership that I'm looking to forge. And I'm friendly with some of the people that are already at the cutting edge of that.
Do you think space is a worthwhile investment?
I do think space is a worthwhile investment. I'm kind of sad that we're past the days of NASA being like, mission, mission to Mars, like all the 60s movies, like watching all the now all that talent's working for SpaceX or
So
Jeff.
What's your argument in favor of exploring space, colonizing Mars or the moon, in the face of such great challenges here on Earth?
So let me be clear. If I had a choice between fixing our problems here on Earth and making it so that we could get
the hell out of here,
or get like, I would obviously choose solving problems on Earth and just much higher return. There are many more of us here, where it's our natural habitat. I think that space exploration is a worthy endeavor because it tends to push the frontier of human, not just knowledge, but also capacities. There are many innovations that stem from us having to try and solve such advanced technical problems as trying to get our people to, let's call it Mars, and being able to live there. So to me, most real innovations happen at the frontier level. And so if we can try and push ourselves in that direction, it's positive. But if you look at the order of magnitude of both the problems and the value generated, if you have a choice, then you obviously have to try and, let's say, fix climate change here on Earth, or keep it so that we're actually able to feed ourselves in healthier ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm very much like
certainly can do both too.
Yeah, like we should be able to do both.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm kind of geeky. I mean, you can't be like,
yeah.
I mean, we gotta keep trying to push the envelope.
There's some intangible value to the dream of us as an exploring species.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. But it's interesting that that's moving now to private companies.
It is.
Elon Musk is more likely to get to Mars before the United States government.
Yes. And when I said before, in the 60s, the government was giving out money to see what happened. Now it's private individuals.
Mm-hmm.
It's Sam Altman. It's Chris Hughes. It's just people giving away money, being like, what's going on? It just goes to show that what the government used to do now is in private hands. And that, to me, is something that is not ideal, honestly, because we should be able to help ourselves as a society without relying upon a handful of private individuals.
Right.